Good morning, Celtic fans, and welcome back to the channel. Remember, if you haven't subscribed, make sure that you subscribe to get the notifications. Click the notification tab to make sure you're notified when the video comes out every single day. And also give this video a massive thumbs up, because the fee that we're about to receive from the oil-rich nation is in the region. It's going to be around $30 million. The discussions are still ongoing. That's according to the one and only Fabrizio Romano on Twitter, the transfer guru. He's basically saying that it's around 30 million, and that would mean it's around about 25.5 million pounds, which is more than Arsenal paid for their one and only Tierney. Scott McDonald believes that spending the Jota jackpot is going to be imperative for Brendan Rodgers, but he offers up some advice on the Marco, and he says offering a comparison is wrong at the moment, as they are different types of players. He's more a bit like Paddy Roberts, and you remember Paddy Roberts at his time at Celtic. The 2 years that he was here, during the Ronnie Dyler years, he was fantastic, and he scored a lot of goals coming off the wing, taking on players. He says that's what the 21-year-old can offer Celtic after coming through at Melbourne City. He says in time he can become a fan's favourite, says Scott McDonald. He says when you think about it, Paddy Roberts became hugely popular, and he says that Tilio can have the same sort of impact. He says Marco has the same ability to take on people 1v1, which is suited to the way that Brendan likes to play his football. He can go left or he can go right. He plays with both feet, which will be a massive advantage, and I'm really excited about the fact that he is coming to Celtic, says Scott. Signing him on a 5-year deal tells me that they not only think that he's going to get better over time, but Marco's had an excellent season for Australia. In his 3 years at Melbourne City, has progressed each time. Throughout that, as a young player, he had a little bit of a downturn, but last season he's been one of their main men. And he also broke into the national team, which is fantastic for him. He also went on and said, is he good enough to do that? Does he have the mentality to play that different style and the more physical aspect of the game in Scotland? He says he took knocks along the way. He's certainly going to be one to watch as he progresses at Celtic. He's an attacking player. McDonald also feels that that attribute and that side of him, he will thrive managed by Rodgers. It says when you look at him, you can't make a comparison compared to Jota. It is a bit more like Paddy Roberts with an attacking sense. The fact that he will take on a lot more players, and he's been excellent at assists in the past year. He played the number 10 role at Melbourne, and he done really well. He loves to carry the ball. He's very quick over the first 5 yards and difficult to handle, and he also likes side shots with both feet. So that's Scott McDonald's take on it. There's also been a few other people talking about him. Even the next Ranger star has been giving us rave reviews about Tilio. Marco the man, he says he's just going to be fantastic. The fact that he is another guy from Australia, and one of the Australian medias are basically looking at this move as a massive move for the Australia under-23 player. Tell me what you think in the comments. More to the point, it looks like we're getting 30 million euros for our one and only Jota. Where will we spend the money? Where will we spend the profit that comes from that? It is time for Celtic to step up the mark and get some big deals done. You have to remember back to the first time Brendan was here, he did make a couple of signings on the same day, and it was all kept a bit quiet until the day of it came out when we announced the signings. Will the same happen this time? What is happening in the background? It does seem a bit quiet with speculation. All the speculation just now is around about Rio Hatate maybe following in the footsteps of Jota and going abroad to the oil-rich nation. With that being said, what does that put the price of Kyogo at? What does that put the price of Rio Hatate at? So Sunday morning is one of those burning questions. Will we be doing the live this evening at 6:30 UK time? Make sure that you stick around and look out on the community tab, and I'll tell you exactly if it will go ahead or not. James Milner says that Brendan Rodgers 2.0 era, he says it's going to be absolutely amazing. The state of transfer situation just now is the fact that, I mean, there's still a lot of talk about Tierney maybe coming on loan. I can't actually see Celtic using so much money to bring Tierney back. It would be fantastic to bring him back, and he is one of our own. But to spend a lot of money like that, when you see the type of players that we're bringing in to progress and sell, there's no trading value in bringing Tierney back. That's my only issue with the problem. I mean, he's obviously better than Greg Taylor. He's in the national team, but bringing him back to Scotland has no sort of main big selling factor. Will he bring back more? I mean, we've got a sellout stadium as it is just now. The transfer front has gone a bit quiet with bringing players in. That could all change next week with the manager getting his feet under the table. Might be a case that some more players might leave. Sorrow turned down a deal to go to Panathinaikos. What was he thinking of? Tell me in the comments. And on that note, I shall see you on the next video.